Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Naruto teleported in Digimon universe and got harem? Before I start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe my channel and like this video. Go support and follow the Tankerman for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story, link in the description. Let's start this video. Down in the valley of the end, two 13-year-old boys stood on opposite sides. The one on the left had wild spiky blonde hair, 3 thick whisker marks on each cheek, and blood-red eyes with black cat-like slit for pupils. He wore an orange jumpsuit with a hole over the right side of his chest. He had on blue shinobi sandals and a Konoha hit IA tied around his forehead. He was surrounded by blood-red chakra that looked like a cloak with fox-like ears and tail. Both hands were clawed, and in the palm of his right clawed hand was a spiraling blue, red and purple sphere of chakra. While the figure on the right had dark gray hair that went just past his shoulders. The whites of his eyes were black, his eyes were crimson red with 3 black comas surrounding the pupils of each eye. He wore a pair of white shorts and a blue short-sleeved t-shirt with a high collar with a white and red fan on the back. He had on blue shinobi sandals and a Konoha hit IA tied around his forehead. His skin was a gray color, and he had a pair of wings extending out of his back that were in the shape of 2 giant webbed hands. His left hand was engulfed in white and black lightning. The two stare at each other. The winged boy with no emotions, only one thought: kill the dope. Gain the Mangekyo Sharingan and go to Orochimaru. The other looks at him in rage. Sasuke, why did you leave? You had everything, you bastard. Oh, don't you get it? I want power now, let's end this, replied Sasuke. The boy known as Naruto, vessel of the Kyuubi no Kitsune, 9-tailed fox demon, runs at Sasuke. Sasuke flies at Naruto. The sound of chirping fills the area. Rasengan. Chidori. The two attacks collide. Naruto downs the power of his Rasengan, not wanting to kill Sasuke, being this his first real bond. Sasuke plunges his hand through the blonde's chest. Naruto lifts his right claw and puts a slash through Sasuke's hit IA. Naruto falls into the water face up, staring, hanging on to life. Sasuke shouted Naruto with tears as his friend rival teammate leaves, going down the path of a traitor avenger, throwing his hit IA away. Naruto slowly stands in pain and walks back to the village with a gaping hole in his chest with Sasuke's hit IA in his other hand. Breathing heavily, holding the hole in his chest. Sweat rolling down his face. Curse you, Sasuke, you bastard. Get, you were too soft. Shut your mouth, Kyuubi. Elsewhere. A man with gravity-defying silver hair was jumping from branch to branch through the forest. He was wearing dark blue cargo pants and long-sleeved shirt, along with a dark green Jonin vest, the usual blue ninja sandals, as well as black fingerless gloves with metal plates across the back of them, and a dark blue mask that came up to the rim of his nose. His hit IA was brought down, covering his left eye. He was following a small brown dog with white tape around his front right leg and what looked to be a small dark blue cape on his back, as well as a miniature hit IA tied on his head. Pakin, how far are they? The small dog, Pakin, turned his head towards the silver-haired man behind him. Their scent trails lead up to the clearing ahead. Kakashi. Kakashi nodded his head at Pakin as the two continued through the forest. After a few minutes, the two reached the clearing at the valley of the end. Kakashi turned his head around to look for Sasuke and Naruto before turning back to Pakin with a worried look in his one visible eye. Pakin, they're not here. Can you pick up their trail again? Pakin was sniffing around the ground until he came to a patch of blood on the floor. After sniffing it for a few seconds, he turned his head back to Kakashi. Sasuke and Naruto were here a short time ago, but their trails diverge here. Pakin then turned back to the ground to determine which way the two had gone. Sasuke left in the direction of the rice country, and Naruto is heading back in the direction of Konoha. Kakashi looked over to the pool of blood on the floor and then to the small trail heading in the direction of Konoha. Naruto, I'm sorry I didn't get here sooner. He then turned back to Pakin. We better head back and inform Hokage-sama about this. Pakin gave a quick nod of his head before the two of them headed back to Konoha. With Naruto. The blonde meets up with the sand trio Gaara, Temari and Kankuro, along with his teammates Shikamaru, Kiba and Rock Lee, while Gaara carries Niji and Choji with his sand. The group of 10 walk back to Konoha. The group step in. Naruto limps into the village and comes face to face with his teammate crush Sakura Haruno, who is obsessed with Sasuke Uchiha. Sakura-chan, I'm sorry I couldn't bring back Sasuke, starts Naruto, only to be punched and sent to the ground, blood on the side of his mouth. Sakura-chan. You don't have the right to speak his name. You couldn't bring him back because he was better than you, and you can't admit that. You probably let him go, you demon, shouted Sakura, pounding into him. Naruto in his weakened state, unable to fight back. The villagers see this and start throwing rocks, shuriken and kunai. Naruto curses as they impale him. Why did you call me demon? Worried if she knew about his secret. I know your little secret, Naruto, or should I say Kyuubi. You're the Kyuubi no Kitsune, you don't deserve to live, you don't deserve my love. Now die, demon scum, said Sakura, kicking him in the ribs. Naruto slowly stands and punches her with all his might. Team-loving bitch. You see this hole in my chest? This is from that traitor of a bastard. He rammed a Chidori through my chest twice. If I hadn't powered down my Rasengan and taken that second Chidori to the chest, I would have killed him, replied Naruto. I Sasuke wouldn't do that, demon. The only reason he was your rival because no one else could, shouted Sakura, punching Naruto with everything. The blonde coughs up blood lying in the dirt. I saved you from Gaara when he had his sand around you. I saved you, and this is how you repay me. Gaara comes back from taking Neji and Choji to the hospital with Temari and Kankuro. When the sand trio arrives, they are shocked. Gaara becomes angry and engulfs Sakura in sand. Kankuro goes to Naruto while Temari blows the villagers away literally with her giant battle fan. It's come I kill you, said Gaara, going to crush her. Gaara, don't, spat out Naruto as he slowly stands. 6 broken ribs, a fractured wrist and broken arm. 8 broken fingers and toes. And 1 broken leg. If you kill her, then you'll be turning back into your old self. Besides him leaving the village, it's about time I do. These assholes never cared for me. I see that now, said Naruto as Kyuubi heals his wounds. Where will you go, asked Temari. Gaara sighs and throws Sakura into a wall, hard knocking her out. Gaara walks over. You can join Sand. No, I will find my own path. The blonde then walks out of the gates with a smile. Thank you, my friends. Naruto, be careful. Thanks, Gaara. Naruto smiles as he walks away from the trio. Well, by Kakashi arrives and looks sad. Naruto, I'm sorry I just arrived. I'm sorry I couldn't have arrived earlier. Don't worry, Kaka-sensei, look after the others, will ya? Sure, Naruto. I'm Skip. Naruto sighs. It's been a year since he left Konoha and become a wandering ninja. And because of not being able to eat ramen all the time and eating other foods, he was able to become as tall as Kakashi had, taller actually. Standing around 1.86 meters tall. He has 3 kunai and shuriken holsters on each leg with 3 weapon pouches at the back of his belt that holds 20 scrolls. He wears a black t-shirt with black shinobi pants. His and Sasuke's hit I-8 around his left and right bicep with a slash through them. He wears a black cloak with white clouds on it, with a golden 9-tailed fox on the back and black ninja sandals. Since leaving Konoha, he has been doing missions from other villagers except his home, ranging from C to sometimes S. This allowed him to become very rich on his travels. He also trained with someone from each village while he spent time there. Suna was glad to teach him, same as the other 3 nations. Waterfall even taught him their techniques as repayment for helping them. His skills, and at least Anbu captain in Genjutsu, Ninjutsu, Taijutsu, Kenjutsu, and he's a master of Fuinjutsu. In a scroll he has a pair of katana and scimitars that he uses rarely. His hair has tints of blood red mixed in as well. Jiraiya would always come across Naruto here and there and give him scrolls with jutsus from the scrolls in Konoha. Sometimes even med jutsu scrolls from Tsunade jutsus, even scrolls from Kakashi. Lee even bought him weights. Guy gave him scrolls on Taijutsu, Kurenai Genjutsu, Asuma Futen Jutsu. Shikamaru gave him books on strategy, Choji gave him food and cookbooks, Ino gave him books on the mind and plants. Shizune gave him books on the human body, Tenten gave him weapons from the shop, Neji gave him scrolls with the Hyuga Taijutsu stance on them. Biba gave him books on animals, Shino gave him books on the different bugs, Hinata would give him medicinal herbs. He received 3 Nadachi, 1 from Anko and Iruka, and the 3rd from the Konohamaru Corps. But the council, being the fools there are, made him an SSS ranked missing nin, so that everyone was after him. Everything his friends did for him, along with his teachers and the Jounin and the Hokage, the council never found out about. Even when they all met up with him at the Curry of Life. Jiraiya also started writing a book about Naruto's life, and he would write everything down that Naruto said happened on his adventures. His latest books, The Adventures of the Fox, which was a big hit, and 25% of the profits went to Naruto. Naruto sighs as he walks along the border of Fire Country when he comes across a strange blue light. Naruto walks over to it and finds a metallic blue card with a yellow D on the front. Naruto raises an eyebrow and picks it up. Suddenly a bright blue light engulfs him. I did not fucking suck up for this, yelled Naruto as he is consumed by darkness. I'm Skip. Naruto awakes and sits up, groaning in annoyance. As he stands, he finds himself in the middle of a giant desert. Naruto looks at the sky and finds strange beams of light, and in the sky is Earth. Fuck, did I fall from that high? Not even Kyuubi would be able to heal Mesai. Naruto walks off when he hears roaring. Naruto looks to his left and finds a strange dragon-like creature on its back legs on fire with a metal head. I'll observe your data, shouted the creature. Naruto raises an eyebrow. Fire tower. The creature slams its palms on the ground, creating a giant tower of flames. Naruto scoffs and starts doing hand signs. Water tower jutsu. Naruto slams his palms on the ground, making water flow from the ground into a giant tower. The 2 attacks collide and explode. Flame hit. The creature shoots out a continuous high temperature fire bullets at Naruto. Impressing but not impressive enough. Suiton. Water dragon bombs. Naruto summons a giant dragon head made of water that launches hundreds of water bullets. So you're a water-type Digimon. Hey, then I'll beat you all the more, for I am Flare-Arizaman. The creature now known as Flare-Arizaman summons another fire tower. Fire elemental, so I can either use Suiton, Futon or Doton. Water puts out fire, dirt smothers the flames. Also flames need oxygen. I'll form a couple of clones for this thought. Naruto summoning 2 chakra reinforced shadow clones. Futon. Wind tornado jutsu. A giant tornado forms around Flare-Arizaman and starts to suck away the oxygen. Suiton. Water dragon jutsu. The second clones summons a giant water dragon that collides with the creatures before the real Naruto attacks. Doton. Mud dumpling. Naruto shoves his hands underground and pulls out a giant dumpling of mud and rock. Naruto throws the giant boulder at the creature. The creature stares and says oh shit before the boulder dumpling collides with him, sending him flying. Naruto walks over to Flare-Arizaman, who's lying in a crater groaning in pain. Go unload my data, you vile fiend, since you defeated me. But load your data. Besides, you're the one that attacked me. Hey wait, you're not a Digimon, are ya? Iggy, what? What the fuck is a Digimon? Digimon means digital monster. Naruto raises an eyebrow. Okay, digital monster, what the fuck does digital mean? Wait a second, they're monsters, they accept me. So I'm guessing you're one of these Digimon things. The dragon nodded his head. I be Flare-Arizaman, and if you not be a Digimon, who you be, Blondie? I'd be Naruto and I'm a human. Flare-Arizaman stares with shock. Human? So you'd be from the real world? Naruto raises an eyebrow. To this real world? Aren't we in the real world now? I mean, this place looks pretty real to me. Flare-Arizaman lets out a small sigh. This world is different to the human one. This world is made up of computer data. It's digital. Digital, okay, so I'm in a digital world. This is a fine mess you've gotten into. Yes. And since you're from the real world, the stories must be true. All the things they have said Flare-Arizaman with a giant grin. Naruto raises an eyebrow again and crosses his arms under his chest. Stories? What stories? Who you been talking to? A small grin formed on his face. It is said that there are ways to travel between the worlds, and if you, a human from the real world, are here, then it must be true. Flare-Arizaman then tilted his head back to look back up at the earth and extended his arm as if trying to reach out towards it. How I long to see that world with my own 2 eyes. Naruto turned his head away and looked at the ground. I wouldn't bother, there's nothing special there. Flare-Arizaman looked back down at Naruto. What makes you say that? Because where I come from there's nothing but hatred and loneliness. Anyway, I'm guessing you're one of those tamers. Tamers? What the fuck's a tamer? Boy, you got a real potty mouth, said Kyuubi. Yeah, well, what I've been through, I'm allowed to say fuck, so fuck of Kyuubi. Flare-Arizaman gets into thinking pose. Let's see, tamer is a human with a Digimon partner. It said that a tamer can bring out the full potential of their Digimon partner and make them Digivolve. Naruto raises his left eyebrow and interrupts Flare-Arizaman. Digivolve? What the hell would that be? Flare-Arizaman continues his explanation, raising his hand. Digivolution is when a Digimon advances to the next level of power, from baby to in training to rookie, rookie to champion, champion to ultimate, and ultimate to mega. Naruto nods his head. So what level are you? But it is champion. Flare-Arizaman then gets a small twinkle in his eyes. Hey, how about you and I become partners? No thanks, I'm fine, besides I work alone. Besides, I'm not a tool anymore. I swear, Sasuke team and Sakura, you'll regret the day you abandoned me when I return to my world. Naruto then unleashes Kyuubi's chakra and forms 3 tails and gets on all 4s. His eyes become blood red with black cat-like slits for pupils. His whiskers darken and thicken, his nails become claws as his hair lengthens and starts to become blood red. Naruto's jaw locks back, revealing more teeth as his lips turn black. Naruto then races off at top speed, releasing all his weights. Flare-Arizaman stares in shock. Holy shit, he's fats. And what was that red cloak? Wait up, partner. Flare-Arizaman gives chase. Naruto growls and runs off, kicking up sand. Meanwhile, in a hidden fortress, the figure stands in the darkness. The figure watches through a mirror as Naruto runs through the desert, even watching the match from before. Oh, I can't wait, mwahahaha. Master, are you alright? Asked a worm-like Digimon, but receives no reply. Oh master. Wormmon, get me my Atisman now, shouted the figure as he sends Wormmon flying. Soon, little boy, I'll reign supreme once I hold the power of the Kyuubi no Kitsune, mwahahaha. After all, I am the one that brought him here. The man that looks like a vampire walks in wearing black, blue and red. The man gets on one knee. Master, you called. Yes, find and bring me the human and take whatever Digimon necessary for his capture, said the figure. My Atisman nods. As you command, master. I shall take Davidramon, Gigadramon, and Megadramon. My Atisman is then consumed by darkness. Soon, very soon, my boy, you'll be mine to command, said the figure once again. Naruto sighs as he walks through a thick forest after playing another game of run away from the Digimon who want you to be their tamer. Naruto grabs an apple and munches on it before continuing his journey. Naruto's been in this digital world for a week now and has picked up strange cards 15 in total. Naruto sighs as he walks through the thick forest. Naruto hears someone groan in pain. Naruto follows the noise and finds a knight-like Digimon. Its armor is white with bits of red on his shoulders, knees and head with rubies in his chest. Its armor is broken and battered along with a white sword in its hands. On his back are strange metallic white wings with feathers. The sword disappears along with the wings. The Digimon stares at Naruto and sighs, so someone's come to finish me off. Well, go on and load my data. What the fuck is it with you people and loading fucking data? I mean, can't you just not load another's freaking data because it pisses me off, said Naruto, walking over performing hand signs. His hands glow green and he holds them above the Digimon. You're a strange Digimon, said the White Knight. I'm a human and my name's Naruto Uzumaki. The Digimon stares in shock before his face turns neutral. A human, huh? Well, my name's White Elfman. Naruto Uzumaki. Anyway, if you don't mind me asking why you are so beat up. I've been in many fights, kid. The last one was my hardest, trying to keep other Digimon from absorbing my data, but I'm to beat from that battle to fight back now. You see, I'm the only White Elfman around. You see, I was created when a virus attacked the digital world. I was just a Digi egg at the time. The virus attacked me and transformed me. When I hatched, I was a normal Digimon at first until I dig-evolved to the rookie level. I became something else. I wasn't an ordinary Digimon. Soon after, I started getting into fights with powerful champion level Digimon and I evolved. I then fought against ultimates as well. I evolved again and again. Now here I am at the mega level. The other Digimon don't even look at me. You see, when I hatched I was meant to be a Botamon, but instead I was a Dotamon, a white version. I then evolved into Doraemon. Then Doraemon, then so on before I evolved into the white version of the normal Alphamon, who is the leader of the 13 Royal Knights. I may be different, but I do have a heart. It's hard when I wish to turn back to my other forms, but I can't, so I'm stuck as White Elfman. It's hard, but I've gotten used to this life with the virus inside of me, said White Elfman with a sad look. I know how you feel, bud. We're the same in different ways. You see, 14 years ago a 9-tailed fox demon attacked my village. My father, the 4th Hokage, the leader of the village, sealed the demon inside of me at birth, sacrificing his life. I was meant to be seen as a hero, but I wasn't. The village thought of me as the Kyuubi and treated me like scum. I was punched, starved. I was refused service from different shops. I was overcharged. It was sickening. When I became a genin, it partially changed until my teammate Sasuke Uchiha turned traitor and left the village. My friends and I went to bring him back, but we failed. When I returned, my other teammate Sakura Haruno and the villagers attacked me because they thought I was a demon. I left and wandered for a year till I ended up here, said Naruto as he bandages up White Elfman's armor. Naruto finishes and steps back. The blonde then leans against a rock before summoning a bottle of sake and mineral water. Naruto throws the bottle of water to White Elfman, who grabs and stares. Drink, you'll need it. It's best to keep yourself full of liquids, said Naruto, drinking his sake. White Elfman nods and starts drinking slowly and painfully. Once finished, Naruto stands and walks over to White Elfman. Naruto throws the Digimon's arm around his shoulder and helps him stand. Come on, let's get you to safety. The two move inside a cave. Naruto lies White Elfman down and sits next to him, drinking a bottle of sake. Why are you helping me? Like I said before, we're the same, so why shouldn't I help you? Besides, it's my nature to help others. White Elfman, everyone is different. You see, a weapon scroll is just a scroll with a weapon inside. The scroll is still a scroll, and the weapon is still a weapon. I am just a human who has a demon inside of him. In the prison, he's my jailer. You were attacked by a virus before being born, so what if it's inside of you? If people only see you as a virus, they're ignorant. A virus is a virus and you are you. If something has a heart, that makes it a living creature. If something can cry, feel anger, feel fear and be happy along with any other emotion, then they're a normal living creature. In my home country, we had a rule that said a ninja must not show emotions. If we did not show emotions, we would not even be human. That's what separates us from the demon. That's the simplest way to put it, but even demons have feelings. But I am me and you are you. We are both living creatures. Sure, we're different, but that doesn't mean we're nothing alike. Wise words for a kid. Yeah, but when you travel around places, you pick up a few things. You see, I was the so-called dead last in my village, and I was always happy. But that was a mask that I formed to shield myself from the outside world. In truth, I was smarter than most people, I was stronger than most people, but I still had to wear that mask. It was depressing that I had to seal myself away. But a dumb demon can survive when a smart demon can't. In the world of ninja, if you're a Jinchuriki, you are referred to as demon, so I might as well refer to myself as one. Being able to access our tenant's chakra is one gift of a Jinchuriki. Each Jinchuriki receives a different ability from each demon. Shukaku, the one-tailed raccoon dog, the ability to control sand. Nibi, the two-tailed cat, the power to summon and control the dead. Sanbi, the three-tailed turtle, the ability to control water. And so on till you come to the Kyuubi no Kitsune 9-tailed fox demon. He gives you instant regeneration and 9 element affinities. My affinity that does not come from the fox is wind. From the fox I receive water, metal, fire, lightning, dark, light, sand, smoke and earth. Thanks to water and earth unlock my bloodline of wood, and from water and wind gives me ice to form sand is from earth and wind. I know over 1,000 jutsus beyond that, even said Naruto with a sigh. In total I have 12 elements. The 5 main elements lightning, fire, wind, earth and water, the 3 sub-elements sand, wood and ice. The base elements dark, light, smoke and metal. Each element can be used for offensive purposes or defensive purposes. Earth, wood and metal mostly of defense. The others offense. Out of all the elements light and dark are the most destructive. Even though they're base elements they are able to kill an opponent. Most dark and light elements are ranked A and above assignation techniques. You know, back home I earned 3 nicknames, being the Black Fox, the Black Blood Typhoon and the Red Flash of Death. I am ranked as a triple S missing nin with a flea on side order from the other villagers because I've helped them in tough ties. They do not wish for their shinobi to fight me when I'm a friend to them. But Konoha has me on kill if seen order also to make them more forced to fight me. Whoever brings me back gets triple my bounty. If they bring me back dead 5 times the bounty. White Elfman raises an eyebrow. Okay. Just forget about it. Anyway, tell me about this digital world. Here's not much to say really, except Digimon fight against Digimon and absorb their data. But I know one thing for sure, that Yukyaman, one of the Digimon sovereigns, wishes to take over the human world. With the help of the 12 divas. Each diva represents an animal from the Chin's zodiac, making them all beast-type Digimon. Naruto nods and starts doing hand signs. Mystical palm jutsu. Naruto's hands glow green again, and he holds them above White Elfman. Anything else I should know, like of evil beings that plot to rule the digital world and human world or something like that? Well, there's a Digimon called Dexman. He is a mega-level Digimon that evolved again. He has many evil Digimon under his ranks, ranging from megas to rookies, even armored Digimon. He even has 5 of the 7 great demon lords. The 7 great demon lords are each of the demon lord type and are some of the strongest and most powerful Digimon. 6 of them are mega, the 7th is an ultimate and also apparently their leader. If he has them under his control, there is nothing he can't do. If I was to fight 3 of them at full strength I could just barely win. Why do you think him in such a bad condition? I was fighting the 5 he has under control who wished to load my data. But they couldn't decide who'd load it and started fighting against each other, so I fled. That's when you found me. So if you're saying that this Dexman has these 5 all-powerful Digimon on his side, why don't they just kill him and upload his data? Because they're not strong enough. He is more powerful than all 7 of them and there is only 5. I see where you're coming from. Apparently he's after the power of something called the Kyuubi no Kitsune. Which from your story he's after you then. Ah, why is it always me, mutters Naruto under his breath. Anyway, it's best you don't move for a while. White Elfman, your wounds are, well, how to put this in the simplest way without going into technical detail. You received critical to non-critical wounds, so at the moment your status is neither in danger nor out of the woods yet. A simple few months or weeks rest and you'll be good as new. Naruto summons a bunch of sticks and stones before making a campfire. Naruto performs some quick one-hand signs and blows out a stream of fire from his mouth, forming a fire. Naruto summons 5 dead rabbits. Naruto pulls out a kunai and starts skinning them. Naruto places them over the fire on a stick and waits for them to cook. Once the rabbits are done, Naruto hands one to White Elfman, who thanks him and starts eating. Naruto smiles and eats himself. Once the 2 are done, Naruto starts setting up a base. Just stay with me for a few months until you're healed. It's a medic's job to take care of the sick. Besides, I'm not doing this out of pity or is my job. I'm doing this because I want to. Naruto smiles as he summons a couple of futons and bread. Naruto throws a couple of bread rolls at White Elfman, who catches them. Well, eat up. Naruto pulls out a cigar and lights it up and sits on his bed. If you wondering why he's smoking, it's simple. Smoking can't kill him thanks to Kyuubi. Naruto sighs as he puffs out smoke from his nose. Naruto takes a puff and takes out his cigar before blowing out a stream of smoke. So anyway, White Elfman, do you know of a way for me to get back to the real world? Call me Elfman, it's too much of a mouthful to add White. And no, I don't know of a way for you to get back to the real world. Naruto sighs and puts out his cigar by using his hand. Naruto's hand heals over before the blonde draws blood. Naruto starts doing a couple of hand signs before pressing his hand on the ground. Uchius no Jutsu, summoning technique, said Naruto as smoke rises. Once the smoke clears, 5 snakes that are 5 meters long, colored black, appear. Master, what can we do for you? Hissed one of the snakes, being a meter longer than the others. I need you 5 to keep guard and alert me if someone comes. It shall be done, master. SSSSS, hissed the same snake. The 5 summons his slither away. Oh, the reason he can summon snakes is thanks to Kyuubi giving him the original snake contract with Hachibi, the 8-tailed and 8-headed snake demon as the boss, not Manda. White Elfman stares as the snakes slither away. Naruto smirks and pulls out a box of Pocky and starts munching away. By the way, he has a Pocky addiction that is 10 times worse than Itachi's egg insult his Pocky, and he kills you. White Elfman raises an eyebrow at his strangeness. Naruto smiles and pulls out an MP3 player and puts the earpieces into his well ears. Naruto presses the play button, causing music to start playing, the song being Tonight, Tonight, Tonight by Beat Crusaders. Naruto smiles as he lays back and falls asleep. White Elfman sighs and follows suit. Skip, 1 week later. Naruto sighs as he walks into the cave and finds White Elfman sitting next to the fire as a dead wolf roasts over it. Naruto smiles and waves as he sits on the opposite side of the flames. How are your wounds? The pain's going away slowly, but I'm fine. That's good. Naruto performs some hand signs and breathes out small streams of flames to speed up the process. Once the wolf is finished, Naruto hands White Elfman some meat and the two start eating. Suddenly an explosion rocks the cave. Naruto and White Elfman run to the cave entrance. And there stands Myatisman with an army of strange flying Digimon. The first are kind of like dragons and they're black with 4 eyes. The next is another dragon with 2 arms and a long tail. Its hands are giant metal 3-pronged claws. It has blue wings and an orange underbelly with metal covering the top half of its head. The next is similar to the second but made of metal. The Vidramon and its evolved forms Megadramon and Gigadramon, along with Myatisman, who works for Dexman. So these guys work for the dude who's after me. Okay, now it's personal. Naruto draws blood and starts doing hand signs. Naruto places his bleeding hand on the ground. Sankuchius no Jutsu Nibi, Gobi, Hachibi, 3 summoning technique, 3-way summoning, 2-tailed, 5-tailed, 8-tailed, shouted Naruto. Suddenly 3 giant, and I mean skyscraper giant puffs of smoke appears. Out of each smoke tails appear the first 2 cat's tails, the next 5 dog tails, and the last 8 snake tails. Suddenly 8 snake heads appear attached to one body with the 8 snake tails moving behind it. The middle one takes the form of a 5-tailed dog, and the last is a 2-tailed cat with black angel wings. Who dares summon us? Hissed the 8-tailed and 8-headed snake. Nibi, Gobi and Hachibi, out of the 9 demons, you 3 and Kyuubi are the strongest. Please aid me in this battle. Naruto points to the army. The 3 demons stare and smirk. We shall aid you, young one, but know this: next time you summon us for trivial matters I will kill you. Naruto smirks and performs the jutsu again, but only 1 puff of smoke appears. 9 fox tails shoot out as the form of a giant blood-red fox appears. Hachibi, I doubt you'd kill my vessel, said Kyuubi in an angry voice, unleashing his or her killer intent. Hey Kyuubi, Haim, I meant no disrespect. Queen of the demons, hissed Hachibi in fright. Wait, Queen and Haim, I thought you were a boy. Naruto, not everything is as it seems, replied Kyuubi in a less demonic voice. Naruto stares with his mouth wide open. Enough, we had some business to take care of, my queen, said Gobi, having enough of this talking. Yes Gobi, you're right. Now let the slaughter begin, said Kyuubi no Yoko. The other 3 nods, and the 4 demons charge. Naruto sighs as he only has 5% of his chakra left, which is about half of Sasuke's after 2.5 times skip. Naruto forms a few shadow clones, more like a few hundred, to help with the slaughter. Naruto charges forward with his weights released. Naruto summons his 3 Nadachi. 1 in his mouth and the other 2 in each hand. Naruto spins before jumping over at Vidramon and stabbing him from behind. Naruto roundhouse kicks another. The demons will either turn them into millions of pieces or eat them. Or turn them to ash. Should have guessed they'd kill them. Oh well. Naruto spins around roundhouse kicking a Megadramon. The Megadramon and Gigadramon start launching missiles at Naruto and the 4 summonses. Naruto buries himself underground and appears behind enemy lines with his swords gone. Naruto starts doing hand signs. Don't land spikes, whispered Naruto, slamming his left foot on the ground. Long spikes made of rock shoot out of the ground, impaling those stupid enough not to move. Kyuubi swings her tails before shooting a fireball. Nibi summons the undead to kill them, while Gobi launches fireballs, balls of lightning, spits mud from his mouth along with water balls, and uses the wind to slice through them. While Hachibi just eats them whole and continues this process, filling up his belly. More and more of the same Digimon arrive along with black dinosaurs and metal dinosaurs. Tyrannoman Champion and Metal Tyrannoman Ultimate, shouted White Alphaman. Naruto nods and runs forward, forming a spiraling sphere of chakra in each hand. Dual Rasengan's next work system, shouted Naruto. Chakra sprouts from the Rasengans and forms into mini Rasengans around the original ones in the palms of the blonde's hand. In total 20 Rasengans are around each of the original ones. Naruto plunges them forward and causes a massive explosion that sends the blonde flying into the wall of the cave. Oops, a little too much power, said the blonde, smiling sheepishly. Kyuubi whacks her forehead while Gobi raises an eyebrow. And he's your vessel, not very smart is he? He can be when he wants to be, but in battle he usually prefers a frontal attack. Instead of using his brain he just goes in to blow everything up. Naruto runs forward forming clones. Naruto smirks when the group land in the middle of the army and says boom. The clones and Naruto explode, creating a massive shock wave. Naruto appears atop of Kyuubi's head smiling. I'll never understand your mind, you're so unpredictable and predictable at the same time. Of course I am, how else do you think I always fool the Sharingan? The number one most surprising knuckle-headed ninja. Naruto does a foxy grin. Kyuubi sighs as the blonde jumps off and dusts himself off before eating a soldier pill. Naruto dodges a missile before roundhouse kicking a Dividriman. Crimson Lightning shouted Myatisman, forming a stream of red energy and uses it like a whip to attack White Alphaman, who rolls to avoid it. What did I do, shouted White Alphaman with fake tears. Grizzly Wing Myatisman summons his alpha bats and sends them at White Alphaman. Naruto steps between the two and slams his palms into the ground and rips out a giant wall of earth. The earth wall blocks the attack while Naruto performs hand signs. Suiton. Water Tower Jutsu, whispered Naruto, slamming his palm on the ground, causing water to shoot out and form into a giant tower. The water tower breaks the wall apart before colliding with Myatisman, sending him backwards. Don't worry Alphaman, I'll protect you no matter what, I won't let someone hurt my friends. Why do you protect this fool of a Digimon? Because he and I are alike in different ways, that's why, and I shall protect those that deserve it, answered Naruto, running forward. Kaiten. Fire Tower. Naruto does a front flip and with his hand touching the ground, summons a giant flaming tower. Naruto is flung into the air and he performs some quick one-hand signs. Duotin. Air Bullet. Naruto sucks in air before launching a ball of air from his mouth at Myatisman. The bullet hits the vampire-like Digimon and sends him to the ground. Naruto smirks, but his smirk disappears when thousands of missiles fly at him. Suiton. Supreme Water Dragon Jutsu. Naruto summons a giant water dragon the size of Kyuubi, tails and all. The dragon collides with the missiles, exploding, causing Naruto to fly backwards into the cave, making an imprint. Naruto groans as he falls out of the imprint face first into the ground. Okay, dragon plus missiles while in the air equals a lot of pain. Naruto stands slowly and thinks, well then let's try a new approach. Naruto smirks and channels about 30% of his chakra into his fists, which is like 10 cages at 100. Naruto slams his fist into the ground, causing the ground to crack open and causes the Dividriman on the ground to fall in. Naruto runs forward and punches Myatisman hard, and I mean hard, sending him 500 meters away. New record. Myatisman curses as he consumes himself in darkness and appears above Alphaman. Crimson Lightning shouted Myatisman, forming his red-like whip and attacks White Alphaman. Even though it does nothing, it's still painful. Curse this, said Myatisman before he is impaled by a blue-like energy blade. Myatisman turns around and finds a man-like Digimon with armor similar to a bee's design. Tiger Vespiman, muttered Myatisman before he turns into red particles. The Digimon known as Tiger Vespiman absorbs the data and laughs. What a weak fool, he was not even worthy of being loaded. Dexman had enough of his failure and sent me to capture you. Bzzzzz, here, catch. Tiger Vespiman throws a backpack to the blonde that is full of scrolls from your world and money from the real world. That is a token for you to join us, and we'll give you even more. Bzzzzz. Naruto smirks and seals the backpack away before saying fuck off, fly boy. Tiger Vespiman growls at Naruto before flying at him, who rolls to the side and attacks but is tackled by White Alphaman. Fight me, fool. Mega against Mega, let's see who's stronger, me or you, said White Alphaman, summons his sword and wings before flying at Tiger Vespiman. Bzzzzz, you are too injured to fight me, so bzzzzz, back off, buzz. Tiger Vespiman flying at Alphaman, summoning another blue energy sword. The two swing their weapons, blocking each other's strike. Naruto summons two of his Nadachi and runs forward. Don't even think about fighting alone in your condition, shouted Naruto, swinging his two Nadachi before summoning his third and grabbing it with his mouth. Naruto swings forward before doing a front flip and axe, kicking Tiger Vespiman in the head, with chakra reinforcing the blow. Tiger Vespiman falls face first into the ground and shouts muffled curses at the human. Tiger Vespiman swings his hive-shaped Royal Meister weapons. Alphaman blocks, so does Naruto. Bzzzzz, you're really getting on my nerves. Bzzzzz. Tiger Vespiman throws a spin kick, but Naruto blocks before kicking him in the chest. Royal Meister Tiger Vespiman then tries to rip them apart. Naruto jumps back with Alphaman, who grunts in pain and gets on one knee. Alphaman, you okay? Yes, I'm fine. You sure? Yes. Naruto sighs and runs forward with Alphaman flying behind him. The two attack simultaneously, forcing Tiger Vespiman to block. The bee-man-like Digimon jumps into the air before stabbing Alphaman in the back. Alphaman shouts in pain and collapses. Tiger Vespiman pulls out the blade and laughs. Bzzzzz, time to finish you. Bzzzzz. Tiger Vespiman prepares the finishing blow, but Naruto gets in the way and forms a wall of ice blocking the blades. BZZZZ pesky human BZZZZ come and have me as your partner, yeah right buzzhead. BZZZZ buzzhead BZZZZ foolish human BZZZZ Tiger Vespaman breaks the ice wall and tosses Naruto away and brings his blades upon Alphaman. Naruto tackles the Digimon making him to drop one of his blades. BZZZZ pesky human BZZZZ you are getting to be too troublesome BZZZZ Tiger Vespaman retrieves his sword and attacks. Alphaman gets in the way and takes the attack. He yells in pain falling on his knees. BZZZZ so this fool decided to sacrifice himself for you hey BZZZZ then it shall be BZZZZ Tiger Vespaman brings down his blades. Naruto runs forward when a bright light appears from his weapon pouch. The light causes Tiger Vespaman to stumble back as the blue card appears and floats over to White Alphaman. Suddenly the card starts to change shape, the light intensifies blinding everyone. Once it dies down it reveals a fairly small white device. The device had a small square screen on it with an orange ring around it. There was a gray circle near the bottom of the device that almost looked like a button, but it had a smaller black button on either side of it. At the top of the device was a black strap with a clip on the end. The device floats over and drops itself in the blonde's hands. Naruto looked down at it and said out loud, "What is this thing?" White Alphaman stares at the device before looking at Naruto. "You're my tamer, I am you're what that device in your hand signifies you as a Digimon tamer." BZZZZ what how dare you choose this fool over me BZZZZ Tiger Vespaman attacks in a fit of rage. The two partners jump back to dodge the attacks. BZZZZ come you are our tool for us to use as we wish BZZZZ. "I am nobody's fucking tool freak," shouted Naruto in a fit of rage. He bursts forward glowing in blood-red chakra. Naruto throws a punch and hits Tiger Vespaman. A sickening crack is heard and Tiger Vespaman is sent flying backwards and collides with a boulder. The chakra leaves and Naruto smirks. Tiger Vespaman growls and stands himself. "Since you refused my first offer, take my second, more advanced scrolls with more money." The Digimon throws 2 more bags at Naruto who catches them and does the same like last time. "Thanks for the scrolls and money flyboy. Now be a good little Digimon and leave BZZZZ you regret not taking my offer BZZZZ. Because now that my first 2 offers have been refused BZZZZ, I get to kill you BZZZZ." Tiger Vespaman flies forward but collides with Alphaman who throws him into a boulder. "Naruto, I need to know if I can trust you to be my tamer." "Of course you can, now let's kick this freak's ass." White Alphaman nods before running forward. Naruto pulls out one of the strange cards he found. "Well, doesn't hurt to try." Naruto swipes the card through the device as a black Zanbatsu appears in White Alphaman's hand. Alphaman swings the Zanbatsu and slices of Tiger Vespaman's left arm before swinging his other blade. Tiger Vespaman is sent flying through many rocks. Tiger Vespaman curses and attacks. Naruto roundhouse kicks him before throwing a barrage of 20 shuriken forward time. To end this shuriken shadow clone jutsu, the 20 shuriken become 2000 and rip through the bee-like Digimon. Tiger Vespaman screams in pain as he is destroyed by Naruto. "Should I load his data?" "No, don't. If you wish it shall be tamer." The 4 demons walk over after finishing the slaughter. Naruto sighs as White Doraemon, the rookie form of White Alphaman, walks beside him. It's been a year now since he met his partner and has fought against many Digimon. Just 3 months ago White Alphaman was able to de-digivolve to his rookie stage. During their time together they have found up to 56 of those strange cards. They trained together, also using the cards to help the other in battle. Doraemon even wears leg weights to increase his speed. As they walk they come across a moth-like Digimon with a minigun for its behind. The moth starts firing at them. Naruto and White Doraemon jump to the sides to avoid the bullets. "In the name of Lord Dexman, I shall exterminate you." Doraemon attack Mothman metal cannon. Doraemon then shoots metallic projectiles at Mothman that collides with him and explode. Mothman is sent flying backwards. Naruto pulls out a card and swipes it through his Digiviz Digimodify. Shadow speed activate. Doraemon suddenly disappears and appears behind Mothman. Naruto pulls out another card and swipes it Digimodify. Omnimon Supreme Cannon activate. Suddenly Doraemon's left hand becomes the head of Metal Guruman and opens up, revealing large cannon. The cannon gather energy particles before firing. Mothman screams in pain as he is hit by the attack and turns to Data. "Come, let's go Doraemon." Naruto throws Doraemon some Pocky who thanks him and eats it. The two continue on their walk as they prepare to enter a small village, but a giant machine-like Digimon blocks their path. "I am Machinedramon and by order of Lord Dexman I shall kill you." Naruto holds his Digiviz at Machinedramon and some information appears along with a picture of him. Machinedramon virus type, special attacks Giga Cannon, Dragon Fire, Catastrophic Day and Infinity Hand Mega Level. "Ooh, ain't this good Mega Level Doraemon, you better Digivolve to your Mega Stage." Naruto pulls out a strange white card and swipes it Digimodify. Warp Digivolution activate the Digiviz, then speaks Warp Digivolution. White Doraemon Warp Digivolve. White Doraemon goes through his first 2 stages before he turns into a dragon man-like Digimon with 2 giant metal fan-like wings. He's covered in white armor with bits of black with a long silver tail, with an arrowhead at the end, a big one too. Flames covering his fists. White Doragorman. White Doragorman vaccine type special attack Brave Metal, Duridian and Blade Storm Mega level. And here I thought you'd digivolve to Alphaman. It's strange isn't it, you were Alphaman when we met, but ever since then you keep digivolving into White Doragorman. Doesn't matter anyway, go Blade Storm. Blade Storm, shouted White Doragorman before flapping his wings making mini energy blades appear. The energy blades fly at Machinedramon and impale him. Giga Cannon. Machinedramon fires of his giant cannons, but White Doragorman dodges. Digimodify. Black Wargreymons Terraforce activate. White Doragorman raises his arms making a black ball appear. Terraforce. He then throws the ball at Machinedramon, engulfing him before exploding, sending his parts everywhere. Naruto sighs before muttering weakling. White Doragorman then digivolves back to White Doraemon and walks over to his tamer. The two then walk off once again. As they walk, a black portal opens up behind them and sucks them in. Break. Naruto appeared in a large layer of fog and hit the ground with White Doraemon landing on top of him. Naruto then spoke up. Ow, Doraemon, do you mind getting off of me? White Doraemon got off of Naruto and stood up. Sorry about that, Naruto. Naruto stood up and looked around. No worries, but here's a question, where the fucks are we? White Doraemon looked around but couldn't see through the fog, so instead looked at the ground and found it to be some kind of road. No clue, I can't see anything through this fog. Hearing this, Naruto squinted his eyes and focused chakra into them and looked around until he spotted something. There's a sign. White Doraemon looked over at him. What, you mean in the sky? Naruto turned towards White Doraemon and raised his left eyebrow at him. What? Why would there be a sign in the OIC? Never mind. The sign's over there. He then pointed to the direction of the sign. The two then walked over to the sign before White Doraemon asked, so what does it say? Naruto simply shrugged before looking at it. It says welcome to Shinjuku. Naruto then took a quick thinking pose. Shinjuku. White Doraemon then looked up at his tamer with an amused look on his face as he angrily rubbed the top of his head with both hands and yelling out, where the hell is Shinjuku? Hey, stop your shouting, and how the hell is I meant to know? Well, aren't we still in the fucking digital world? I don't know, and would you stop swearing? There might be people about. Naruto let out a sigh as the fog that they were in suddenly started to dissipate. It was at this point that Naruto noticed something. Hey, weren't we just in a desert ages ago? Naruto then looked up into the sky and noticed something else. Something was missing, and where has the giant globe of Earth gone? Don't ask me, I'm not a detective. White Doraemon sharply turned his head to see Naruto looking up into a clear blue sky. White Doraemon then started spinning his head from side to side with wide eyes before turning back towards Naruto and started shaking him slightly, trying to get his attention while yelling, Naruto, 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 you jackass. Naruto finally came out of his trance of looking up into the sky and turned towards White Doraemon. Huh, what's up? White Doraemon turned his head away, indicating Naruto to do the same. Naruto looked in the same direction that White Doraemon was facing. Upon seeing what White Doraemon was pointing out, Naruto's eyes suddenly widened with shock before turning his head around and seeing a small alleyway covered in the shadows. Come on. Naruto then grabbed White Doraemon and dragged him into the alley. Once they reached the alley, Naruto and White Doraemon looked out into the street to see people walking about with their everyday lives. Naruto and White Doraemon both still had wide eyes before White Doraemon turned to Naruto. Those are humans, aren't they? Well, aren't they, tamer? Naruto could only give a dumbfounded nod of his head before White Doraemon continued, so, does that mean we're in the human world? Huh. Naruto just looked down at White Doraemon before giving a small shrug of his shoulders. I have no idea, I mean from first glances, I would say yes we are. However, I've never heard of a place called Shinjuku before in my life, and I have never even heard of some of these devices before. I mean, look at them. Naruto then pointed out at one of the open convertible cars rolling down the street. What the hell are they? White Doraemon then looked at him completely confused. Then what is this place? Naruto then took a thinking position while White Doraemon leaned in closer waiting to hear what he was going to say. We're defiantly not in Konoha or any of the other elemental countries. Upon hearing this, White Doraemon face faltered. Naruto then leaned his back against the wall and opened his eyes. But I have heard from Kyuubi of other realms, dimensions if you wish. This must mean we're in another world. So for this world, this is their human world, strange yet familiar in a strange way. Naruto places his hand on his chin and thinks. So what you're saying is we're in some alternate world to yours? Yes, anyway, as for the alternate world thing, it's the only thing that I can think of just by seeing is how different this all is compared to where I come from. I would guess that this world focused more around on their technology moderately than chakra like my own world does or did. White Doraemon looked up at Naruto before letting out a sigh and turning to face the street as well. I guess that is the only answer that actually makes any sense. White Doraemon then started to head out into the street. Well, let's go see what this world is like. Before he could take a step out of the shadows, Naruto grabbed him by the arm and pulled him back into the alley. What are you, nuts? White Doraemon turned his head back towards Naruto and gave him a confused look. Seeing this, Naruto continued, like I said, this is a different world. Unlike in the digital world, I don't think they would react too well to just seeing a Digimon walking down the street. Nah. Why do you always have to be right? I got an idea, let's just say you're my kid brother who is obsessed with Digimon. Nah, that'll work, right? Or I could just place a genjutsu on ya. I think I'll do that. Naruto then performs some hand signs and places a genjutsu on Doraemon to make him look like a Nari wearing a black t-shirt with an Agumon on the front with white shorts to the humans. One then White Doraemon sighs and follows his tamer. Hey, question, can you tell me what chakra is? Nah, after all these years you decide to ask now. Oh well, chakra is formed by merging both physical and spiritual energies within the body. The chakra can then be formed into forming different types of techniques, like my Rasengan. Naruto forms a mini Rasengan before making his disappear. The people of this world have small chakra reserve unlike Digimon who have large, and it increases when they digivolve. Also, I would guess that the people of this world have access to their chakra, but they lack the understanding of how to use it. So what, that gives you an edge over the people in this world? Naruto sighs and looks at his partner. No, White Doraemon, I'd better downplay my abilities as to not draw attention anyway, let's go. But what are we supposed to do now, anyway? Naruto just looked down at him. I guess the first thing we need to do is to learn about this world and how things work in it. I just have no idea of how to do that yet. Upon hearing this, White Doraemon hung his head. Naruto then just walked past him and headed out into the street while calling out to White Doraemon, come on, let's go, oh, and I'll refer to you as Inari from now on. Doraemon nods his head in understanding. The two walk through the streets. Break. Naruto and White Doraemon had been continuing down the street in silence for the past hour or so until Naruto noticed something out from the corner of his eye. He stopped dead in his tracks and turned around to face the window of a shop. White Doraemon continued on for a moment before realizing Naruto had stopped and turned around to see what he was doing. Hey, what's up? What are you looking at? Huh? Naruto just turned to face White Doraemon before calling out to him, hey, come here a second, would ya? White Doraemon just shrugged before walking over to him. Once White Doraemon walked up next to him, Naruto pointed at the window. See those? White Doraemon looked at the spot Naruto was pointing at and looked back up at Naruto. Yeah, so what? They're only packs of cards. Wait, they're modify card, aren't they? Yep, they're Digimon cards, or more specifically modify cards as you said. Naruto says, pulling out his Omnimon Supreme Cannon card and holding it up to White Doraemon. White Doraemon simply nods his head in understanding before saying, well, what are you waiting for? Let's go get some. Naruto just looked down at White Doraemon. That was the idea, why else would I point out the cards? Naruto then walked into the shop while putting the Omnimon Supreme Cannon modify card away with White Doraemon right behind him. As Naruto entered the shop, they heard someone call out, welcome, how may I help you today? Naruto turned his head towards the sound of the voice and saw a woman behind the counter. The woman wore what seems to be a white and purple dress. Once the woman saw White Doraemon walk in behind Naruto and let out a small giggle. Let me guess, Digimon cards. Naruto looked over his shoulder at White Doraemon and then back up at the woman behind the counter. How'd you guess? After saying, the woman let out a small laugh while Naruto thought to himself, wow, this is the first time I've entered a shop without being instantly thrown back out. The woman looked at the two before saying in a sweat voice, which type would you like? Both Naruto and White Doraemon glanced at each other before turning back towards the woman and both saying at the same time, type. The woman let out a small giggle before pulling out 5 different packs. These would be the types of packs that we have. He then reached under the counter and pulled out a small blue box. We also have the newest structure deck. Naruto looked down at White Doraemon. Well, what do you think, Inari? White Doraemon crossed his arms and tilted his head to the side. Well, we should get the deck since there is already a structure built into it, but there are also other decks to guess, so get the newest and one of the oldest, and I guess we should get a few of different types of packs. Naruto nods his head. Sounds good to me. He then turns to the man behind the counter. I guess we'll take 5 different decks, 3 of newest and 2 of the oldest please, and also I guess 15 of each of the different types of packs. The woman nodded her head and got the desired items and rung up the price. After paying for the cards, Naruto and Black Agumon gave the woman a thanks and left the shop. Once they were outside, White Doraemon turned to Naruto and asked, why did you buy so many of the packs? Naruto looked down at White Doraemon. If we are going to be fighting other Digimon, we are going to need a good variety of different cards. White Doraemon just raised an eyebrow, but there are no Digimon here. Naruto just shook his head. I'm not so sure about that. Before White Doraemon could ask what he meant, Naruto continued, we got here from the digital world, so who's to say that other Digimon can't do the same? White Doraemon just let out a small sigh. I still don't think we are going to be facing off against any other Digimon. I mean, does it look like there have been any around here? But I guess it doesn't hurt to be prepared, just in case. Naruto just rolled his eyes. Glad to see you agree. Naruto then continued walking down the street. White Doraemon still had his arms crossed over his chest and had his eyes shut, taking in all the information. There's no way there would be any other Digimon here. I mean, look at them, they don't even look like they've seen a Digimon here before. Then again, I never even knew you could cross over into the human world. He then opens his eyes to see Naruto heading down the street. Seeing this, White Doraemon yelled out to him, "Hey, wait up Naruto, don't leave me behind," and started running after him like a madman. Everyone around them sweat drops, even Naruto. Anyway, comes one, it's best we find an apartment or something. Doraemon nods his head. The two then set off to find a place to live. Time skip, 5 hours. After renting an apartment, the two sit on the couch looking over the cards, organizing them. Doraemon, you organize the speed and defense cards, I'll organize the attack and the other cards. White Doraemon nods and the two start. After an hour, the two have sorted out a good number of cards to use with a range of powerful attack, speed, defense and other cards to boost stamina and energy as well. Also cards that don't exhaust the Digimon. Suddenly Naruto's Digivice goes haywire. The two grab the cards and run out. They continue running until they reach a building near a fountain. And there stands a Dividramon with an imp-like creature. Along with a giant red dinosaur. "Oh, Growlman," shouted a boy he was wearing grey cargo pants and a blue short-sleeved top with a hood. He had green and white sneakers and yellow wristbands, as well as a pair of yellow goggles. Naruto raises an eyebrow at the goggles. "Stand out of my way, fool, I am here to exterminate a human under orders of Dexman." Dividramon throws Growlman away. Naruto and White Doraemon walk over. Naruto then notices two others. A girl with red hair wearing blue jeans, white t-shirt with a broken heart with a trench coat and black shades with a yellow fox-like Digimon on its back legs next to her. Also boy with black blue hair with green shades, dark brown pants with grey and yellow sneakers. He had a black t-shirt with an orange vest over the top with a high collar and white wristbands. There was what appeared to be a Digimon that looked like a cross between a rabbit and a dog on his head. It had white fur with a green triangle under his head and a single horn on its head. Naruto-sized Doraemon attacked Metal Cannon Doraemon, then launches metal spheres at Dividramon that hit him in the head. The three tamers stare as Naruto walks over with White Doraemon next to him. "So you have arrived, now I shall eliminate you." Naruto looks down at Doraemon, who looks at his tamer. Doraemon, eliminate him, it shall be done. Tamer Naruto pulls out a Digimon card and swipes it. Digimodify. Omnimon Supreme Cannon activate. Dark Gale. Dividramon shoots thick beams from his eyes at White Doraemon. Doraemon dodges as Omnimon's cannon appears. Digimodify. Anjumon's wings activate. Feathered white wings appears on Doraemon's back, allowing him to dodge before firing off the cannon. The energy beam fired from the cannon hits Dividramon and sends him flying backwards. The Givolution. Dividramon suddenly starts changing before after long in his place is Gigadramon. The girl holds up her Digivice. Gigadramon virus type special attacks. Dark Side attack, Guilty Claw, Giga Heat and Gigabyte Wing ultimate level. The boy with the goggles gulps, he's too strong for our Digimon. Now Doraemon, it's time. Okay, Digimodify. The Givolution activate. Digivolution. A bright light surrounds Doraemon. White Doraemon Digivolve to his shape starts to change as he forms to white wings on his back. His claws become longer and turn red, his body lengthens and increases with size. His fur becomes whiter with his underbelly grey. Underneath his wings are black. White Digimon. Digimodify. Matrix Digivolution activate, shouted Naruto swiping a blue card. Matrix Digivolution, said the Digivice. White Digimon Matrix Digivolve to his form changes again in a large white dragon with red fur mane and a wide underbelly. He grows 4 large silver wings with yellow spikes atop it. It grows a large tail with paws and sharp claws. With a spiked sharp nose horn. White Orgreymon. Orgreymon go high. White Orgreymon flies at Gigadramon, who dodges and fires a missile. White Orgreymon bats the missile away before firing a metal ball of super high mass 10 times his own size. The metal ball collides with Gigadramon and sends him flying back. Dark Side attack. Gigadramon starts launching missile after missile in every direction. The fox-like Digimon known as Renaemon dodges a missile as another fly at her tamer. Renaemon curses, but Naruto grabs her and jumps out of the way. The girl has a slight blush on her face. Naruto releases her and stands. And swipes a card. Digimodify. Machinedramon's Giga Cannon activate. 2 large silver cannons appear under White Orgreymon's wings, 1 under each wing. Giga Cannon. White Orgreymon fires the cannons, causing Gigadramon to crash through a building. Gigadramon flies at White Orgreymon and fires a missile and point-blank range, causing White Orgreymon to fall into the waterfall. The boy with the goggles pulls out his Digivice and points it at White Orgreymon. White Orgreymon vaccine data type, special attacks Metal Meteor and Bloody Tower ultimate level. What, how can he be at that level when I'm the best tamer around, thought the girl. Rika, are you alright? Rika looks at Renaemon and scoffs him. Fine. Lamentai, said the bunny-like Digimon Terrariumon. Enough. Okay, Genia. Growlman, shouted the goggle kid to Kadomon. Hey there boy, are you alright? Orgreymon, can you stand? Yes Naruto. White Orgreymon then fires another metal meteor colliding with Gigadramon's head. Kaiten. Fire Tower Jutsu. Naruto then slams his palm on the ground, causing a giant flaming tower to appear. The flaming tower collides with Gigadramon and causes him to scream in pain. The tamers stare amazed and shocked at the same time. Metal meteor. White Orgreymon launches another ball of metal 10 times his body size that slams into Gigadramon, causing him to land on a tree. Now use Bloody Tower. High Bloody Tower. White Orgreymon then impales Gigadramon through the head with his tail. Gigadramon then turns to Data and floats into the sky. White Orgreymon then transforms back to White Doraemon. That was interesting. Come White Doraemon. We leave as the two prepare to leave. Rika and Renaemon step in front of them. Renaemon, I want his Data. Renaemon forms hundreds of diamonds in front of her slowly. Once complete, she shouts Diamond Storm. The diamonds fly at White Doraemon. Naruto sighs and grabs a card. Digimodify Greymon's Nova Flame. Activate Nova Flame. White Doraemon then breathes in before exhaling a large white, red and orange stream of flames at the diamonds. The flames destroy the diamonds before connecting with Renaemon, sending her flying backwards. Renaemon is a rookie. You really think she can beat White Doraemon, who can evolve to Champion, Ultimate and also Mega? Everyone stares in shock. Listen up Brad, I've been a tamer for a year now, so if I was you I'd back off him stronger than you think. Can I hold back in my fights to improve my Digimon strength? Doraemon, come. The two leave again. Hey wait. Naruto turns to Takato, who runs over. Listen, we got over to a shaky start. The name's Takato. Doraemon attack his Growlman. He seems like a good opponent. Metal Cannon. White Doraemon then fires hundreds of metal balls at Growlman, but they just bounce off. Naruto raises an eyebrow. Pyro Blaster. Growlman forms flames in his mouth before launching a giant fireball at White Doraemon. Doraemon, release your weights and attack. White Doraemon nods before a genjutsu disappears around White Doraemon's legs, revealing weights. White Doraemon quickly throws the weights away and blurs out of existence. Metal Cannon. White Doraemon launches a metal ball at Growlman, hitting him in the ribs. White Doraemon slams into Growlman, causing him to fly into a second fountain. Diamond Storm. White Doraemon jumps back to avoid a barrage of diamonds. Ha, this is what I call a battle. Doraemon, eliminate them. Bunny Blast. Tyraiman shoots hundreds of small green bullets at White Doraemon, who jumps back before using Metal Cannon. Tyraiman rolls to the side to avoid the attack. Barrier Tornado. Tyraiman starts spinning and forms a small green tornado that hits White Doraemon, but does nothing. That's all. Metal Cannon. Hundreds of metal balls hit Tyraiman, sending him into a wall. Pyro Blaster. Growlman launches a large fireball at White Doraemon, who jumps to avoid it. Dragon Slash. Growlman charges the blades on his arms with energy and swings them at White Doraemon, who fires off thousands of metal balls. Growlman roars as he is sent into a wall. It's 3-on-1, and yet you still can't win. What a pity. And it's 2 rookies and 1 champion. Pity too. White Doraemon then launches a barrage of metal balls at Tyraiman, who stares. An explosion causes as Genryu runs over to Tyraiman. His Digivolve forms a light. No, shouted Genryu with tears. Digivolution, comes a voice. Tyraiman is consumed by a green egg of Data. Tyraiman Digivolve 2. Inside the shell of Data, Tyraiman's skin was peeling off of himself, revealing green square lines covering a slightly darker green glowing form of Tyraiman. Tyraiman's form then started to change as new skin was placed on his new form. The green shell of Data exploded, revealing a larger bunny Digimon with a green head and ears. He had Gatling guns for hand and was wearing blue jeans. Gargamon. Naruto smirks and says, wow, he got pants. Now Renaemon, let's go. Digimodify. Digivolution activate. Renaemon is consumed by a yellow egg of Data. Digivolution. Inside the Data egg, Renaemon's skin is peeled away and she reshapes in an iron-tailed fox that's yellow and is the size of Gargamon. The fox has a white mane with blue fire around her paws and tail tips. Kyubiman. For a 9-tailed fox she is short, muttered Naruto. Dragon Wheel. Kyubiman starts spinning and flames surround her before the form of a blue flaming dragon collides with White Doraemon. Argo lasers. Gargamon starts shooting like a madman, firing in every direction. That bunny has no control over his powers. Doraemon, take care of him before he hurts someone. High. White Doraemon runs forward, firing metal balls. Gargamon laughs as he blows up the metal balls. Gargamon then starts shooting at Naruto, who dodges, eating a stick of Pocky until a bullet hits the Pocky and destroys it. Naruto stares at his Pocky. My Pocky. You just killed it, begins Naruto. White Doraemon gulps. Oh shit, bad move. Everyone except Naruto and Gargamon starts at White Doraemon. When someone does something to his Pocky, it's not a good thing. It's even worse when it's over. Suddenly the area is blasted by a large amount of killer intent. Chakra starts to explode, putting pressure on everyone but White Doraemon. Gargamon's done for you. Shot my Pocky, I kill you. Naruto bursts forward and roundhouse kicks Gargamon before uppercutting him. Naruto axe kicks high before channeling 5% of his chakra into his fist. Which people equal that of Sasuke's after 2.5 times skip. Naruto slams his fist into the ground, causing it to crack open. Everyone except White Doraemon stares in shock. Bastard, I kill you. Naruto starts pounding the ground over and over, leaving giant craters. Can someone please tell me what's going on? White Doraemon looks at Rika and gulps. Well, he has a large Pocky addiction. I remember 5 months ago that someone did the same thing as Gargamon and he killed the Digimon with no remorse. Basically, if you insult or harm his Pocky in any way, he kills you. Gargamon no, shouted Genria. Naruto roundhouse kicks Gargamon and goes to punch him, but Gargamon backhands him with his Gatling guns. Naruto jumps back to avoid the attack. Bastard, Naruto attacks once again. Kid, calm down, he doesn't have any control. You're right, sorry. Naruto stops dead in his and starts calming down. You're just lucky I'm not killing him anymore. I suggest you get him under control. White Doraemon, we leave. Wow, considers yourself lucky, that's the first time he hasn't killed anyone for harming his Pocky. Well, Jana, said White Doraemon running after his tamer. What was that, stuttered Takato. He's a fierce foe. Everyone looks at Kyubiman. It'd be best we do not fight him if we wish to stay alive or harm his Pocky. Everyone sweat drops, remember White Doraemon's words. He goes that far over Pocky, man, he's really obsessed with the stuff. Strange really, he's calm and collected first, but he changes if you harm his Pocky. You're right there, Kyubiman, said Takato as he pats Growlman. Good boy. Takato-mon, said Growlman, turning back to his rookie form, which is a smaller version of his champion form, but with smaller claws. Gilman, it's Takato. We better stay clear of him for now. The other four look at the black blue-haired boy and nod and say at once, yes, I agree, Genria. Naruto sighs as he and White Doraemon stand on a bridge thinking. It's been a week since he met those tamers. Thinking about that girl again, hey Naruto. Naruto glares daggers at White Doraemon. I'll make you run 10 laps around the park with 100 extra pounds, one each weight, if you say that again. White Doraemon gulps. Sheesh dude, I was only teasing. Oh well, yo, you know those tamers had larger chakra reserves than the other humans. I wonder if those with large reserves are able to become tamers. Who knows? White Doraemon then starts growling as a digital field appears around the area. Come on, let's go. White Doraemon nods before the two run off. They arrive in Shinjuku Park and find a dragon-like Digimon with no legs. Its wings are red with holes in them with a skull covering the top half of its head. Airdraemon vaccine type, special attack, spinning needles, wing cutter, dark twister and tail whip, champion level, said Naruto's Digivice. Okay, Doraemon, let's. Begins Naruto when he hears Diamond Storm. A barrage of diamonds fly at Airdraemon, who blows them away with his wings. Pathetic rookie, I am not here for you. I am here to accomplish my master's demands to eliminate a human, and his Digimon partner. Naruto walks over with White Doraemon with him. So you finally show yourself, prepare yourself. Airdraemon flies at Naruto, who jumps onto his back with White Doraemon. Naruto swipes a card. Digimodify. Digmon's drill activates. Silver drills appear on White Doraemon's hands. White Doraemon plunges the drills into Airdraemon's head and digs through his skull, killing him instantly. Naruto sighs as the two jump to the ground. White Doraemon, don't absorb his data. I don't want you gaining power that way, it's stupid. Power with no control. Boy Whiskers, I challenge you to a battle. Rename and walk all over him. My pleasure, Rika, said Rename, running forward and throws a punch at White Doraemon. But instead of the Digimon catching it, Naruto does. Naruto then roundhouse kicks Rename into a tree. Pathetic, you're not even worth my time. If you want to fight me, get your Digimon to the ultimate or mega stage, rookie tamer. Rika's glare just seemed to intensify after hearing that. You bastard, do you have any idea who I am? Naruto just looked over at White Doraemon before both looked back over at Rika before Naruto just shrugged. Should I? Rika just narrowed her eyes at him. The name's Nanaka Rika, also known as the Digimon Queen. Naruto just raised an eyebrow at that Digimon Queen. Naruto and White Doraemon just looked at each other again before both shrugging and turning back towards Rika, before both of them saying, and we care, because why, may I ask? Rika just scoffed at them. Obviously you're completely clueless, Whiskers. I'm the reigning champion of the Digimon card game, the Digimon Queen. Hearing this, both Naruto's and White Doraemon's right eyes start twitching before turning towards each other. White Doraemon then spoke up to Naruto. Did she just say? Naruto just nodded his head, yeah. Naruto then turns his head back towards Rika, a champion card player. That's your reasoning for why you're the best tamer. Seeing the smug look she had on her face, Naruto's eyes started twitching violently until he slapped his head with his right hand before dragging his hand off his face. You're joking, right? You're basing your skill as a tamer off a card game. Naruto then just shook his head. You really are just a rookie, aren't you, huh? Rika just shot him another glare before clenching her fist in rage. What the hell are you talking about? In a battle you use the card's effects to increase the abilities of your Digimon. Naruto just let out a sigh. Yes, the card's effects increase the abilities of the tamer's Digimon. However, you also need the abilities to read the battle, a skill you can only acquire through your own experience. You need more than just skills at a card game to be a true tamer. Naruto then narrowed his eyes at her. You challenge me to a battle without even having your own experience out on the field. DSK, stop wasting my time. Naruto then started to walk off with White Doraemon at his side, but he stopped when he was standing next to Rika and turned his head towards her. If you must challenge me, then wait until your Digimon dig-evolves to the ultimate or even mega level like I said before, because maybe then you can offer me a challenge. Until then Naruto then turned his head back to the path in front of him and started walking off again with White Doraemon still at his side before calling back stay out of my way. As Naruto walked off Rika narrowed her eyes and clenched her fist before Renamen phased into existence. Rika, what? But that was as far Renamen could get before Rika cut her off. Save it. If he wants to wait until you dig-evolve to the ultimate level, then so be it. Rika then shot a glare at Renamen, and then I'll prove once and for all that I am the best. Renamen just nods her head as you wish Rika. Renamen then fades out of existence as Rika starts her walk back home. I will be the one to beat you, Whiskers. Break. She really is a brat isn't she, but why did you say those three? I mean wouldn't she have to be mega? And isn't Renamen able to dig-evolve to the champion? Asked White Doraemon. Yes she is a brat, and I know that, but this way it will keep her guessing and improving her skills. So until her Renamen can dig-evolve to the mega level she's a waste of my time. The only one that would offer some sort of challenge is that Gogglehead. And yes I believe she already is at the champion. Anyway let's train. Okay then the two get into a battle stance. White Doraemon throws off his weights and a strange tag on his head. The two then burst forward and throw a punch creating a shock wave. Naruto performs a roundhouse kick, but White Doraemon dodges and sweeps him off his feet. Naruto flips back up and uppercuts him. Naruto grabs his tail and throws him into a tree. But White Doraemon rebounds off it and tackles the blonde. Naruto switches himself with a log before spin kicking White Doraemon. White Doraemon launches a ball of metal at Naruto who starts doing hand signs. Pain. Lave breath stream jutsu. Naruto breaths in before spitting out a stream of molten lave from his mouth. The lava melts the metal. White Doraemon jumps back to avoid the lava stream. Wiseman, saying. To be wise is to be dumb, and to be dumb is to be wise. White Doraemon stares with a confused look before Naruto roundhouse kicks him. The ninja uses every opportunity to distract his opponent in battle. Is that so? Hey look there's Rika. White Doraemon points behind Naruto who spins around only to be hit by a sphere of metal. Low blow. So you do like her? Naruto growls. Shut up Doraemon. Naruto charges forward and throws a kick before rolling to the side and trying to sweep White Doraemon off his feet. White Doraemon jumps back and fires a metal sphere at the blonde hitting him in the chest. Naruto flies back into a tree and growls before running forward dodging the metal spheres. Naruto forms a mini Rasengan and thrusts it forward. Rasengan. White Doraemon counters by shooting hundreds of metal spheres. The two attacks collide and explode blowing both back. Naruto hits a tree and breaks it in two, while White Doraemon hits a rock and makes it crumble. Wise men learn more from fools than fools from the wise. White Doraemon raises an eyebrow. Wiseman saying. Don't pay full price for late pizza. White Doraemon stares confused thinking over these sayings, only to receive an uppercut. Bakashi, saying. Look underneath. White Doraemon growls and launches barrage of metal spheres. Naruto leaps over them and launches a ball of air at White Doraemon who jumps back. Naruto grins as he rushes forward and performs a roundhouse kick. White Doraemon blocks before headbutting the blonde. Naruto launches himself forward and tackles White Doraemon before jumping back. White Doraemon growls and launches another metal sphere. Naruto axe kicks it into the ground before jumping away to avoid the explosion. Naruto smirks before he leaps off a tree and flips in the air, channeling a large amount of chakra into his right foot. Naruto axe kicks the ground causing it to split open. White Doraemon jumps back only to be attacked by vines. White Doraemon's eyes widen before he shoots hundreds of metal spheres underneath him and leaps off them and lands safely in a tree. Naruto grins before the branches start twisting and fly at White Doraemon and wrap around him. White Doraemon curses out loud. Naruto appears next to him with a kunai at his neck. Yield fine, I give up. Naruto smirks and releases him. Naruto then pulls out a bottle of whiskey and an energy drink. Naruto tosses the energy drink to White Doraemon who nods and drinks it. Naruto grins and drinks his whiskey. 5 days later. In Shinjuku Park a mist rolls over as Rika, Renamen, Genya, Tirayaman, Gilman and Takato arrive. Naruto sighs as he drinks a bottle of wine before tossing in the bin and pulling out a cigar. Naruto lights the cigar up and walks over to them. A brown Digimon with cannon is single on its left hand looking like a minotaur. Naruto walks over and takes out his cigar blowing out a stream of smoke. The others look at him as he smokes his cigar again. Tankerman virus type, ultimate level, attacks its enemies with earthquake drill, said Naruto as he blows smoke to the right with his cigar on the right side of his mouth. Naruto pulls the cigar out and sighs. Doraemon, since these three arrived first it's their battle for now. The three pull out a card and swipe it. Digimodify to Givolution activate. The Givolution. All three are consumed by either a red, yellow or green ball of data and their skin peels away and they start to transforms. I'm not going into detail here. If you don't know what their champion forms look like, check Google. Kyuubiman, Gargaman, Growlman. The 3 champion level Digimon charge at Minoteraman, who bats them away and charges at Naruto. Naruto Frog leaps over him before spin kicking him in the back of the head. Pyroblaster Growlman launches a giant fireball at Minoteraman, hitting him square in the back of the head. Gargo Lasers Gargaman starts firing off his Gatling guns. The bullets hit Minoteraman, making him roar. Oxtail Inferno Kyuubiman's tails glow blue before she fires of 9 fireballs. The fireballs hit Minoteraman, making him roar once again. Naruto sighs as he puts out his cigar and pulls out a pack of cigarettes. He pulls one out and lights it up. Naruto sighs as he jumps into a tree. Minoteraman tackles the tree, making it snap. Naruto leaps off the tree and lands in a fountain and performs some quick one-hand signs barrage of a million flying water needles. The water rises into the air before turning into frozen senbon needles. The needles fly at Minoteraman and impale him. Minoteraman roars and runs forward and hits the water. Naruto jumps out and does some more signs as Minoteraman charges at him. Needle Guardian Naruto's hair then expands and sharpens until a giant spiked shield of hair covers his body. Minoteraman impales himself of the spikes, causing him to stumble back. The hair leaves and Naruto smirks. Naruto throws a smoke bomb and disappears. Inner decapitation jutsu hands burst out of the ground and grab Minoteraman's legs and pull him under, so only his head is seen. Naruto bursts out of the ground in front of the Digimon and grins. Naruto summons his scimitars and brings them down in an arched swing. The tamers cringe and look away as Minoteraman turns to data and disappears. 3 jutsus and I'm done, and here I only used 1% weaklings. The blonde turns and walks off with White Doraemon next to him. Kyuubiman, walk all over him as you wish. Dragon Wheel Naruto turns around as a flaming blue dragon crashes into his Digimon partner. Naruto sighs and slams his palms on the ground. Mokuton. Vine Wrap no Jutsu. Green vines shoot out of the ground and wrap themselves around the 9-tailed fox Digimon. Naruto sighs before moving his hands where his fingers face inwards, like when Gaara uses the sand coffin and sand burial. The vines constrict, making Kyuubiman yell in pain. Naruto sighs and forms the snake hand seal sign. Mokuton. Wood release. Wood shoots out of the ground and wraps itself around Kyuubiman and moves her to a tree. The branches move down and wrap themselves around her as well. The wood and vines unwrap themselves and lave. Wood bursts from the tree and grabs Kyuubiman's tails, legs and body, stopping her from escaping. An idiot attacks without thinking, but a fool does not listen to the good advice of the enemy. Which are you, an idiot or a fool? I'd say you're both. Wise man once said, the fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Everyone stares with confused looks. A wise man gets more use from his enemies than a fool from his friends. Naruto and White Doraemon then walks off. The branches and wood release Kyuubiman, who reverts back to Renamen. Coward, get back here. Naruto turns to Rika and sighs. A coward is someone who can't or won't fight. I'm not a coward, I just don't wish to fight you. Because you are a fool thinking you are able to fight me. To be wise is to be dumb, and to be dumb is to be wise. Oh, and before I go, one last thing, learning makes the wise wiser and the fool more foolish. Naruto grabs White Doraemon and the two go up in a swirl of black flames. Everyone gives of confused looks before leaving. What the hell is he talking about? Genria, who knows Takato Momentai Takato Mon. Break. Naruto sighs as he arrives in his apartment when White Doraemon talks. Where did you get all those sayings? Kakashi says you must look underneath ahhhhh, you're impossible, wise man once said. Children can ask questions that wise man cannot answer. White Doraemon sighs in defeat. The two walk the streets till night. Naruto sighs and the two head back towards their apartment. The two walk in with White Doraemon going straight to the fridge and Naruto going to have a shower. As the cold water hits his back, Naruto can't help but think. Why does he want Kyuubi? Matter of fact, how the hell did I ever get here? Who are those tamers? I know who they are, but great, I don't make sense. Though should I get to know them and let them get to know me? It's complicated. I can't wait to tell Jiraiya about this one. Man, his books will be selling like hotcakes. I concur. Yo, Kyuubi, been a while since we talked. Yes, it has, Kit. You know, I find this world very different from ours. Sure, I know about different worlds, but I have never heard of one like this. Okay. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Naruto gets out of the shower and towels off. Naruto slips on a fishnet shirt with a black long-sleeved shirt. He puts on a pair of black boxer shorts and baggy cargo pants. Naruto then slips on a straw hat and a belt with a few scrolls. He straps kunai around each leg. 5 straps with 10 kunai on each one for a total of 100 kunai. Naruto then does the same thing with his arms, but with shuriken. Naruto puts some black shades on before putting his Digivis around his neck and his deck on the right side of his belt. Naruto walks out and sits on the couch and looks to find White Doraemon eating a giant burger with 15 layers and patties. With cheese, mayonnaise, sauce, lettuce, tomato, carrot, onion with the works as well. Naruto sweat drops as he eats it whole and grabs another one. Naruto walks into the kitchen and pulls out a pan with a few other ingredients and starts making fried rice. Naruto pulls out 2 more pans larger than the other and grabs what seem to be 30 sausages and throws them on. Naruto sighs as he dumps some bread and egg and pulls out a big rectangular fry pan and finds some free space before plunging in the cord. Naruto places 20 pieces of bread in before heating it up. Naruto takes out 4 large pots. He fills 2 with ramen ingredients and fills the other 2 with homemade noodles before forming clones to keep an eye on a very large appetizer. 1. Because White Doraemon loves to eat, and 2. He eats as much as his tamer. Naruto sighs and takes out a glass pot and summons some clones to start chopping and cutting. The clones place different ingredients inside, basically it's a beef stroganoff, and I don't want to go into detail about the cooking, it's not that important. After 5 minutes they put the glass pot in the oven. 2 hours later. Naruto and his clone set the table that is covered in foods that is ramen, French toast, beef stroganoff, sausages and fried rice. Clones place bread, butter, tomato sauce, salt and pepper on the table as well, along with forks and knives. Itadakamasu shouted the 2 and they start digging in. Clones sigh as they start bringing out fried chicken, chicken tempura nuggets and steak. Once finished, Naruto summons some clones to clean up. White Doraemon lets go patrol the area. White Doraemon nods and the 2 run off. As they jump from roof to roof they notice the sun starts to set. Suddenly a giant black void opens above a tall building. Naruto runs towards and ends up running through the park and notices Digimon flying into the hole and dying. Naruto and White Doraemon increase their speed and come face to face with Takato, Rika, Genya, Tarayaman, Gilman and Renamen, along with a little white Digimon. Suddenly a white beam shoots from the void and hits the roof of the building. Naruto grabs his Digivice, which is going haywire. The 3 tamers and the 4 Digimon look at Naruto, who sighs. Something feels familiar about this signal. No, it couldn't be. What is he doing here, thought White Doraemon. Suddenly a Digimon flies through the energy beam and walks out of it. Renamen runs up the sides of the building and lands in front of the new Digimon. Rika pulls out her Digivice and moves it around before the new Digimon appears on her screen. The Digimon is a yellow and black striped tiger. It has armor plates on his joints with a spike 1-inch armor plate. On its back are 2 large wings. How come I have no data on this guy? Mahiraman, one of the 12 divas, serves under as a Longman, ultimate level, data type, attacks with Samurai Tiger Tail, Armored Tiger Tail and Vimahana. He's stronger than most ultimates, said White Doraemon. Everyone stares at him. Rika smirks and pulls out a card and swipes at Digimodify. Digivolution activate. Digivolution. Renamen Digivolve to Renamen is consumed by a yellow ball of data and her skin peels away before being replaced by an entire new skin. She gets on all fours as a tail appears before becoming 9. A scarf appears around her neck. Blue flames surround her paws and the tips of each tail. She has thick yellow fur covering her entire body. Also she gives the look of a yellow 9-tailed fox. Kyuubiman. Kyuubiman, go get him, commands Rika. As you wish. Kyuubiman runs at Mahiraman, but he smirks. Foolish Digimon pet. Samurai Tail. His tail turns into 3 parts connected by a kai and hits Kyuubiman in the face. More like bitch slaps her. Dragon Wheel. Kyuubiman starts spinning in blue flames before flying at Mahiraman as a blue dragon. Kyuubiman collides with Mahiraman, but he stands put. Oxtail Inferno. Kyuubiman's tails glow before she fires off 9 flaming blue fireballs. But the attack does nothing. Mahiraman stalks around Kyuubiman before using his samurai tail, sending her off the building. She de-digivolves to Renamen and collides with the ground. Rika runs over and stares in shock. Renamen, speak to me, Renamen. Rika mutters Renamen before passing out. Genya grabs a card and does the same and causes Tarayaman to digivolve to Gargamon. Gargamon launches himself upwards and lands on the roof. More of you pathetic house pets. Samurai Tail. Gargamon leaps over the tail. Gargo Laser. Gargamon starts firing his Gatling guns at Mahiraman, causing smoke to rise. Gargamon continues to fire off his guns. Mahiraman circles around him like shark stalking its prey. Gargamon spins around and continues to fire like 10 5-year-olds with a sugar rush. Gargamon continues firing his lasers, but they do jack shit. Samurai Tail. Gargamon dodges the tail and attacks again. Gargamon runs after Mahiraman, who dodges the bullets. Mahiraman circles around again like before and goes to attack. Gargamon turns around and smirks Gargo Lasers. The Gatling guns spin, but nothing comes out. Hee. Samurai Tail. Mahiraman attacks and his tail collides with Gargamon again and again, sending him overboard and causing him to transform back to Tarayaman. Genya catches Tarayaman, who whispers in his ear. He circles around like a shark stalking his prey before he said Genya, but White Doraemon interrupts. He circles around like a shark stalking his prey before he attacks. Yes, that's true, but his tail acts a 3-segmented piece with 3 initial attacks. If he misses he can attack twice more. But he also can use his wings to knock you back before pouncing, making 6 initial attacks. But while doing this he can use his armored tiger tail. His tail becomes 3 pieces attached to a chain with the tip of his tail covered in a strong armor. It's very painful. But he can also use the Vimahana. He does this by creating a sonic boom with his tail. How do you know this? Because 3 years ago when I was still a mega level I fought and defeated him. He was a strong opponent along with the other 12 divas. Each diva is at the ultimate level. Under each of the Digimon sovereigns there are 3 divas under their command. As a Longman he is the god of thunder. The divas under his command are Mahiraman, Majiraman, and Antillaman. As a Longman is the guardian of the digital world's eastern hemisphere. Next Jukyaman, he is the god of fire. He leads Sandiraman, Pajiraman, Indraman. Jukyaman is the guardian of the digital world's southern hemisphere. Then you have Bahaman, he is the youngest and is the god with the attribute steel. He commands Sandaraman, Makuraman, Chitsuraman. Bahaman is the guardian of the digital world's western hemisphere. And last Abanwaman, he is the oldest and the god of nature with Vajraman, Kambiraman, and Vikarlaman at his disposal. Abanwaman is the guardian of the northern hemisphere. Ilman, it's our turn now. Digimorphic Evolution activate. Big evolution. Large streams of red digital data started racing around Gilman, forming what looked to be a large red egg of swirling data. Gilman Digivolved 2 inside the shell of data. Gilman's skin was peeling off of himself, revealing red square lines covering a slightly darker red glowing form of Gilman. Gilman's form then started to change as new skin was placed on his new form. The red shell of data exploded, revealing a large red dinosaur-like Digimon with golden colored eyes and silvery white hair. He had 3 white claws on both its hands and feet with black tips on them. He had a white belly and black markings over his body, along with a digital hazard symbol on his shoulders. He also had a large spike on each of his forearms. Growlman. The Digimodify Hyper Wing activate, cries Staccato, slashing a card, causing 6 white wings to appear on Growlman's back, who flies upwards. Naruto sighs and performs the Digivolution stage to White Doraemon, causing him to be absorbed in a white ball of data, and his skin peels away. His body reshapes into a larger being with 2 big white wings. A gray underbelly with white fur coat. His tail is white with the tip being red. His claws lengthened, colored red and golden eyes with a red triangle on his forehead. White Digimon. Naruto sighs and jumps on his Digimon's back. Follow Growlman, he may need our help. White Digimon nods as Naruto unseals a 10-meter long silver chain and wraps around his right arm. White Digimon catches up to Growlman and the 2 lands. Naruto hops off and stares at Mahiraman, looking over him, analyzing him. Studying every part of his body, trying to find his weak spot. Growlman. Digimon, his weak spot, his underbelly. I see. So Mahiraman, we meet again at last, said White Digimon. Ah, if it isn't the White Elfaman, what happened? I thought you were a mega. Never mind that samurai tail. Mahiraman's tail flies at the 3. They dodge the attack, while Growlman is hit by the secondary attack, while Naruto blocks the 3rd. Naruto summons a long wide blade that looks similar to one of that of Iliaman's. So Tamer, it seems you finally decided to use his blade. That's correct, Arugaman, it's time I honor his memory. Naruto runs forward and swings the blade before twisting and hitting Mahiraman's armor. Naruto leaps over and lands with the grace of a fox, before twisting again like a ballerina and swinging the blade with grace. Mahiraman jumps back only to hear Pyroblaster. Apparently Growlman had gotten behind him and launched a fireball at him. Mahiraman is hit point blank range, but it does nothing. Power Metal. White Digimon launches metal orbs from his mouth that collide with the tiger's head. Mahiraman growls armor tiger tail. His tail becomes a 3-segmented piece with the tip covered in metal. The tail collides with White Digimon before colliding with Growlman and then flying at Naruto. The blonde blocks with his blade before jumping back and settling into a stance. Bending his knees and leaning back with his sword held by both hand and pulled back to the right so the point faces Mahiraman. Face the Kenjutsu stance I created. I call it the 9-tailed fox demon raining blood dance. It may not be completed, but it's still strong enough to defeat you. Naruto flips himself into the air and does a downward swing. Mahiraman blocks and Naruto launches himself off the tiger. Naruto hits a brick wall and launches off it and goes for a vertical swing. Mahiraman jumps back to dodge. Naruto smirks. First dance. Dance of the Beast King strike. Naruto channels his fire and wind nature chakra into the blade and forms a circle in the air, then a triangle. He then stabs the middle of the symbol. A flame bursts forward and forms the head of a lion and collides with Mahiraman. That's in memory of my dear friend Black Liam. Naruto runs forward and swings before leaping over and lands before twisting on one foot and going with a diagonal swing. Naruto starts twirling the blade in the air with one hand. Naruto channels chakra into the blade, causing a spiraling sphere of chakra to form around it. The sphere turns into a disc. Naruto throws the disc with the sword spinning inside. The sword-spinning disc hits Mahiraman, causing him to yell in pain as a large gash appears in his left side. The disc comes flying back and Naruto reaches up and grabs the hilt, pulling out the blade, and the chakra disappears. I call that the spiral disc of death. Naruto charges forward and leaps over Mihiraman and twists in midair and does a downward swing. Samurai tail. Mihiraman blocks with his segmented tail before attacking. Naruto blocks both attacks, landing 5 meters away. Naruto charges forward and swings the sword armor tiger tail. Mihiraman sends his 3-segmented sword with a metal tip flying at Naruto. Naruto draws a kunai in his left hand. Naruto blocks with the kunai, causing the tail to fly to the side. Naruto runs forward, scraping the tail. Naruto swings the sword at Mihiraman. Mihiraman is forced to jump back into an attack of a flaming metal sphere. The flaming metal sphere collides with Mihiraman and sends him flying backwards. Pursue Tamer and these Digimon. Suddenly a bright light appears next to Mihiraman and out steps a white lion standing on its back legs. The lion wears pants and a belt with black leather around his fists and a sword on his back placed horizontally. Who are you? I am Ice Liaman, and you Naruto Uzumaki have become thorn in my master's side, so I shall eliminate you. Ice Liaman draws his blade and charges forward. Naruto rolls to the side to avoid the attack. White Drugaman, Growlman handle Mihiraman, I'll take out Ice Liaman. Naruto runs off and jumps over the side of the building. Naruto grabs the chain wrapped around his arm and channels chakra into the end. A chain starts shaping and forming at the tip into a large spiked ball. Naruto swings it and throws it into the building. He swings and his feet land on the glass. Naruto channels chakra into his feet and starts running down the side of the building. Naruto leaps into a tree and lands on the branch. Ice Liaman lands on the ground and charges at the blonde. Naruto jumps off the branch as it is sliced in half. Naruto jumps from branch to branch with Ice Liaman behind him. Naruto lands in a clearing and spins around to block a thrust from Ice Liaman's blade. The flat side of his blade stops the point before he forces him back. Naruto does a backflip to dodge a downward thrust. Naruto grabs the handle with both hands and swings the sword from the right to the left before going for an upward swing. Naruto blocks an attack from his opponent before going for a roundhouse kick. Naruto's leg is grabbed by Ice Liaman, who smirks. Naruto returns the smirk before he gives of a sadistic grin. Say boom. Suddenly Naruto explodes, sending Ice Liaman flying. When I backflipped, I formed an exploding shadow clone in a tree and replaced myself when you caught my leg, said Naruto as he appears on a branch. Ice Liaman stands in a bloody mess. You're stronger than I thought. Fist of Ice. Ice Liaman raises his fist and pulls it back before thrusting it forward, sending the head of a lion in the form of ice. The attack collides with the branch the blonde stands on, but he dodges as it explodes. Icy breath. Ice Liaman breathes out a cold breath from his mouth, looking like a stream of ice particles. The attack flies at Naruto, who performs some quick hand signs. Kaiten. Fire stream no jutsu. Naruto breathes in before exhaling a stream of hot blue, green and yellow flame from his mouth. The fire stream connects with the ice breath attacks and hits Ice Liaman in the chest, sending him flying backwards covered in burns. The Digimon's blade flies across the area and lodges itself in a stump. Naruto starts performing hand signs. It's about time I end this little battle. Kaiten. Lake of molten fire. Naruto breathes in before stomping his right foot. The ground underneath Ice Liaman collapses, being 20 meters deep and 20 meters long. Naruto then exhales a large stream of fire from his mouth as lava seeps into the hole. The hole fills up with molten lava and steaming hot black flames. Ice Liaman screams in pain as he turns to Data. Naruto walks over to the Digimon's sword and places a seal on it before summoning a sheath with 2 holes on at each end. Naruto places the sheath horizontally on his back and places both blades in it. One hilt facing to the right and the other to the left. Naruto runs off back to the others. Naruto arrives just as Takato swipes a blue card. The Digimon Matrix Digivolution activate. Matrix Digivolution, said the Digivis. Growlman Digivolve 2 in the distance. The Digimon Culiaman's triangular tattoo on his forehead glows. A red sphere of data surrounds Growlman as light beams shine around his body. Metal covers over his arms and hands as large Zanbatu-like blades appear on the sides. Red plated armor appears around his neck and chest. Metal expands from his chest and from his back into featherless metal wings as a metal cord also shoots out from his back. Metal covers the bottom half of his mouth and around the rest of his jaw. And what seems to be cannons on his chest. Wargrowlman charges Mihiraman and collides with him. Mihiraman hits him with his samurai tail attack. Takato grunts in pain. We can do it, Wargrowlman. Atomic blaster. Takato and Growlman shouted. The cannons open up and channel red energy inside before firing and colliding with Mihiraman, annihilating him. His data floats into the air as Wargrowlman turns back into Gilman. That was a quick battle, wasn't it? Everyone stares at Naruto, who sighs as he pulls out a cigar and lights it up. White Drugaman lands next to Naruto and turns back to White Doraemon. Well, until the next Eva shows we'll be leaving. Oh, and Takato, take good care of Gilman, don't let your anger or your blindness confuse you. Naruto then goes up in a swirl of leaves with White Doraemon by his side. Thanks for watching this video. If you really enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. Don't forget to support and follow the Tankerman for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story, link in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.